All right. Cool. Live.
We're live. What's
All
up,
right.
Bobby?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for putting this together for us.
Yeah. I felt like there was there's a lot of great information that you've put out uh throughout the No One Left Behind challenge, and we have a lot of great information around leads and lead gen. But wanted to create this podcast with you, just for the Rainmakers, for everybody that's looking for Rainmakers. Really talk about lead gen and how it all comes together from the start all the way to finish, closing the deals. And so yeah, thanks for putting this together with me as well.
Yeah, so welcome to the Rainmakers podcast with Bobby and Myron. And we Bobby reached out to me and he was like, "Dude, we need to put something together because there are a lot of people with a lot of questions and they're stuck and they're overthinking and they just need someone to kind of push them in this direction, right?" And so I'm like, dude, let's put it together. And then I delayed it for about 2 weeks. And then I go, dude, I just can't do this, man. Anyways, we we started talking, and I'm like, the biggest thing I hear right now is how do I keep my team together? How do I know how to get people on, but keeping them is really hard. Yeah. So I'm like that. Let's put something together. Let's help some people. Um, if you can put a comment below in the whatever the comment section. Let us know. Reach out to us. My Instagram is at Myron Briley. Bobby, yours is it's Bobby Souza, right?
Yeah, on YouTube it's at it's Bobby Souza, and on Instagram it's at Bobby Souza.
Oh, okay. Just at Bobby Souza. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So let's dive into some stuff, Bobby.
cool.
What do you think? What are you seeing right now with No One Left Behind? Like, what's your take on everything?
Yeah, so it's cool to so I was part of I s- was on a No One Left Behind team in October, November, December, January. So I've been able to, I've had the opportunity to work with a bunch of different um, members of Sub 2, and some folks from Gator, and just a bunch of different people that have a ton of experience in the real estate space, and some people that are completely brand new. And so it's been a lot of fun, and it gives an opportunity to understand like the team dynamics and what's working and what's not working, and how do you keep a team together beyond a week, right? Because No One Left Behind challenge, a lot of people are tuning in and excited, especially during the live challenge that you participate in with Pace, and everybody's locked in for that week. And then and then after that week, uh, this is where a lot of turbulence will happen, right? Either teams will stick together for. So I am on a team now that's still from January, and we are like crushing it. The team is continuing to crush it, but there's some people that have dropped off, and we've had to get new people. Like, and we could talk through that. But um, I've been part of teams where I still stay connected with a lot of the members from my teams, but the team might have kind of have went their separate ways. So it
Right.
gives like it's a really cool way to, I guess, like date the people that you're kind of working with, and see like, is the dynamic work, is what is working, what's not, and then you could take that on to a team that you want to then build out for the more of the longer term or the longer run. So that's the experience that I've had. And when I went to in the in person in Arizona, that was the biggest win for me, because being there in person, getting to collaborate with people, getting feeding the energy. Of course, you're in the room, like you're with you, with Pace, with Ingrid, and all the other folks on as part of the challenge, the in-person challenge. It's so it's just it brings you to a whole different like vibration, a whole different level.
Yeah.
But even after that, like I'm still very close with a lot of members from that team. Like we're still working together deals, a lot of members from that
Yeah.
team. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. So No One Left Behind has been a big game changer for me just because it does give you an opportunity to meet a lot of different people. And so and I know from you, right? Like you've also been in the same position and just meeting a ton of people, even from your last No One Left Behind challenge too, which is a lot bigger
Yeah.
and a lot
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that's awesome, dude. Like, as much as I feel like, man, it's hard to rely on other people. It's like I just need to like do this. I just need to like put it together myself. I need to do this stuff myself. And then you hear Bobby say awesome stuff like you have to meet other people. You have to like see who is your tribe. You know what I mean? And once you kind of once you figure out who that person is or who those people are, it just stuff falls in naturally versus like nails on a chalkboard type of thing. But
Hmm.
man, yeah, you got to have great people around you, and that's a great point. Like every challenge that I'm a part of, you saw it when we were there, but like there are people who are just go getters. Like I'm a bullet train. Everybody get out of my way, and I'm gonna put this together with or without you. And I'm like, that's the people I want to surround myself with,
Hmm.
right? I want to surround myself with the people who are just getting after it, because then I think we're both high executors, right?
Yeah.
So like if they're a bullet train and they're moving forward, I can literally just hold on to their coattail and go as fast as they can. I can, right? Because like high execution, we can just get the things done that need to be done. Like we're gonna lay down the tracks for their bullet train as they're coming towards us, right?
Yeah.
And dude, it just makes things so much easier. I love it. But um
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially like if I can think about it's taken me um I've gone a lot of different paths and to try and gain momentum in this business and figuring out a lot of things that did not work, at least for
Yeah.
me. Um and the big difference, the thing that turned the corner for me was partnering up with other people and like and truly though having a role and having the technology though that removes friction, right? Because the everything like the technology that I did not have before, like every little step in this and it's part of like from pulling leads to sending out to outreach to basically getting the deal under contract, getting it funded, getting it closed. Like all those little things are just scary moments when you're not a part of when you just don't know how to do it. And I've been getting the technology in place that just removes some of the friction on those points that just to get you started, and then having the team and having a closer, having people that can come in and close deals if you line them up and you get people to set them up. A closer comes in and does their thing, and then
Mhm.
you know how to you know how to underwrite it and put the contract together very quickly and
Yeah.
remove the friction with using technology from that way. And now it's just becomes like a very less stressful thing to like get a deal done. And so I think it was like it's a combination of the people for sure. And you just want that vibration around you. Like, yeah, it is the people that just go and are just hungry and want to just make calls, get on and make calls, and ultimately, funnel those deals to the closer.
Yeah. I was talking with another No Not Behind Rainmaker yesterday, and he's like, it's a couple things. It's the closer doing what they say they're going to do, and it's keeping people on the team, keeping the freshmen. Like those are the two main things. And I was like, if I really thought about it, which would I rather have? 5 freshmen or 1 closer? 1 closer all day. I'd rather have just 1 good closer, and I'll tee them up myself. And then I need to like take that stress off of myself. Now I'm gonna go get a 1 caller, 2 caller, 3 caller. That's where my mind went. Like if I don't
Uh,
have a good closer, then what are we doing?
right. So like as a first step in kind of getting piecing that together, which the No One Left Behind challenge does a great job of doing. But even outside of that, right, getting a closer. Like if you don't know where to start, it's like find someone that can close the deals. And then even if you're not a tech savvy person or whatever the case is, like you can there's tools available to make it very easy to pull leads and just get some warm leads even without even jumping on the phone. But also you can just pick up the phone, call some agents, just line them up for the closer. And then to your point, once you kind of get that figured out, then you can go and build out the rest, like get people to jump on calls, new people that also want to learn and they just want experience.
Yep.
But the closer is so powerful. Before this, right, you're talking about some of the things that at least that I've seen that has worked on teams that where I see the teams are like high functioning, either that I've been a part of or have seen. It like the education, the close a lot of times the closer will come in and educate constantly and just pouring back in to the team. Oh my God, like that literally that's probably the biggest factor. And the transparency that that closer is bringing in. They'll record their calls. They'll jump on calls live with the team to show and like, hey, this is how, and it makes the idea of closing less scary too. Like you can, it's not that bad once you get a lot of reps in and you
Yeah.
see like you're just having a conversation and but the transparency and the education, I think that's the biggest thing. When I started and I was on paternity leave like over a year ago, I joined your team and
Yep.
you showed us how to pull the leads, how to underwrite them, how to send out the contract. And it's just like if you have a closer or you have somebody that's leading the team, whether they're a closer or somebody, you have a leader on the team that's going to just pour back into you, that will keep a team together far beyond compensation. It's just like any W-2 job too, right? People leave their leaders, they don't leave their because of, money most of the
Right.
time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So it, the leaders who the leaders who are succeeding are really like, yeah, they're pouring into their team. And part of it also is like I was talking to a freshman and I said, the issue is a lot of the closers that are signing up already have pre-existing things going on. And you are literally fighting to be it's like there's a separation. Like they have their own team and you're over here trying to build a team, but you're also trying to hop the fence, right? You're trying to get into their on their team. And um like now I'm in. Now I'm part of it. Now I'm really part of it, right? And I think what what the miswiring part of it is they're actually those leaders are looking for people who are consistent, but it's hard to be consistent when you feel like you're outside of what's going on, you know? And I
mhm,
go, bro, if I had my own team, if I were one of these closers and I saw someone literally daily sending me leads daily, I wrote, get them on the team as quick as possible. We want as many Michael Jordans on our team as possible, right? We want the people who are like seriously taking action. The people who say they're going to do it and they don't do it. I mean, you're doing the same thing if you're not being consistent. So even as a newbie, you have to show consistency. You have to, bro. That's the secret of this whole thing, is just being consistent and showing other people what it takes. Bro, it's not easy. This whole thing is not easy.
Yeah. 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 The consistency part is big. And if if you're the leader of the team, um, and you don't have to be a closer to be a leader, but if the leader of the team is showing up every day consistently, you're more likely to have the rest of the team show up consistently. And if the rest of the team, and those that don't, right? People have, W-2s, people have lives, things like that, and that's okay, right? Like I think as long as you can get consistent work in every day, if you're someone who's making calls, or you're someone if so like I generate leads for the team and I can do that. It's hard for me to do it during the day. Like I have a short term rental management company. I have a W-2. I got little ones, right? Very busy. But generating leads, I liked stepping into that because it allowed me to do it late at night or super early in the morning before everybody tee up things, and then make sure those outreach or outbound messages, emails, texts, whatever, go out at a certain time during the day. But now the rest of the team who is able to jump on calls during the day, even if you can get an hour in, or 30 minutes in a day, now they can do that. Like they can jump on and they'll have the leads served up to them. And so I like the lead gen, being able to, a Rainmaker or someone that's generating leads. I like to do that because at least it gave me some time. Um, and it allowed me to still balance the rest of the things in my life, but be able to get into real estate deals and learn and be of value to a team,
Yeah.
with limited time. So, um, yeah, but it consistently showing up. I guess to your point, it's like if you have the closer and you have consistent lead generation, and then you just need those people that can come in and want to learn, because that's ultimately what they're doing, right? Because the compensation piece of it is, I mean, you're there to learn, to be educated, and you'll make some money if you close some deals. But it's far, I mean, the education part far beyond outweighs the actual dollars you're going to make if you're a jumping on and making calls, a lead manager, if you will.
Yeah. Let's go through that. So, lead manager, those are terms I like to use. Lead manager, acquisition manager, underwriter. When I started my team back, has it been a year ago or 2 years ago? I can't remember anymore. I think it's been 2 years. The first thing I did was I put a closer on my team as fast as possible, just like me and another person. And I'm like, that's just basically my partner. And then I met some other people. They say, Myron, teach me what you're doing. And so then I had lead managers, right? And I go, okay, you're gonna work under this closer, okay? And I'll underwrite the deal. I'll be, transaction coordinator, underwriter, integrator, rainmaker, all the things, right? And I really liked putting people with closers because it um it gave them someone to reach out to. That wasn't me. Like I don't have all the answers, right? And I don't want to. But like putting that together and then forming that, like going to Pace and I go, we got to put teams together. That's really where the magic is, man. And having those people on your team like you have them, how can you putting the what's it called, not a flow chart, but it's like the diagram of the org structure, your corporate structure, whatever you want to say, like who is where, who's doing what, who's responsible for what. And there's that whole, you know this, you're corporate guy. Like if everybody's responsible for something, no one is responsible for it, right? There has to be a person who does a thing, right? We're all responsible for dispo. You know, we're all responsible for whatever, I don't know, the thing. Well, that means I can let somebody else do that. So anyway, putting the structure together took time for me. And it was like, as I was building it from the ground up, I was like, okay, well, now I need an underwriter. Like underwriting is taking too much time. I just need someone dedicated to just underwrite deals that come in. And then I added on that they should also manage the calendar. Like I want to know when EMD is or the inspection period is coming up and when the closing dates are. And so they just held I'm like, I need an update every single day of what's happening. Even if it's redundant, even if you just said it, just every day, tell me what's happening every day. So I wanted my finger on the pulse, and I wanted another person to also have their finger on the pulse of what was happening in the business. And underwriting the deals, knowing what's going on, and also knowing the calendar side of things. That really, really helped me. And then I said, "Hey, TC, you're gonna my TC is also part of this calendar. They need to know all these things too, right? Like backup with backup with backup. So like really lining people out and putting their name on that org chart, or is it called org chart? Yeah,
Yeah.
putting their name on there and showing them, hey, this is the org chart of our company. You're on it. This is your responsibility. This is what you're here to do. Um, that to me, just like aligning everything out and then putting JV agreements in front of them. That we're signing a document. There's been teams that I have been talking to, and don't they don't have JV agreements. They don't, just like a blanket JV agreement. Hey, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you get paid. What if you started at a new job tomorrow and they didn't tell you what to do or how to get like what you're making? That'd be crazy.
Hmm. Such a good point. Yeah, like um taking those things, right? Like you don't have to be all uh corporate about things, but you need to show it is like stepping into the more if like the freshman or anybody coming into the team sees that it's like a legit operation, it's like to me the likelihood that they stay around and say like, okay, like this is not a hobby thing. This is not like oh, whenever we get to it, it's just like I know I can rely on this team to be here, uh, whether I'm here or not. They're gonna be rocking, and I want to be part of the train that's moving. Like I want to get on this train.
Yeah.
And like, and so those little things are the things that say that the train is moving. It's like you have a communication channel where everybody's communicating together, right? Like when I joined your team way back in the 18-minute challenge that we had, you had a was it Discord? No, yeah,
Yeah.
Discord or
Yeah,
Slack.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Discord.
Discord.
And and it was like it was so legit. It was like, oh, okay, there was steps to this thing. It was like an onboarding, and like you got to do this and you got to do this. Like, oh my, you're stepping into like an operation, whether or not on your end it from like somebody that's setting it up. It's like, all right, we need to put something together, and this is like to someone that stepped into it. To me, I'm like that looked. This is so legit. Like, oh my gosh, they're really. And you probably could have spawned it up like in a weekend and put it together. And on my end, I'm like, man, I want to get. This is serious. Okay, like I'm signing this paper and I'm stepping in. I'm gonna do this onboarding, and I'm getting part of this train.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you for telling
Yeah,
me that. Yeah, it was kind of sloppily thrown together on my end.
yeah. It doesn't look
Um,
like it's crazy. It doesn't look like it on when someone fresh is coming in. it just looks like someone took their time and they're serious about this, and like I want to be part of that. If they're serious, I'm serious.
Yeah. And that stuff is, man, it's always improving. Your onboarding is always improving. You can always do a better job. You can always make better videos. But I'm the kind of person, I don't know if you know this about me yet, but like I just kind of get it up there and get started. Like it may not work 100% right now, but I don't really care. I'd rather be 50% ready and just go and make mistakes along the way than, you know, wait another 4 months to get started. Like I just can't do that. That's just not in my, that's not who I am. And so, but I did want to make it like I knew things. What's important? What's important? And you just said it was like, um, people knowing what to do, people knowing how to be successful, what it needs to look like to be here. What do you need to do? And so that's just all. I just put that together. Um, the JV agreements, Carolyn and I remember this vividly. We probably took a full day of just, actually, I'm sorry, maybe like 2 or 3 days just on the JV agreements. And that it was important to me because what, you know, I guess my past life and my W-2, that's really what I focused on was like building out the job descriptions, building out the job ads, building out these things so people come on to our legit brick and mortar business, it looks legit. And so I did have that experience, but like I want that stuff. I want people to come on and go, oh, Myron kind of has it. He kind of knows what he's doing. Maybe not 100%, but like he has some stuff put together for us and a plan. Oh man, I have so much to talk about, but um,
Yeah, I know. I'm like thinking through the topics of these things, and it's there is so much that you can dive into in terms like we should definitely break down some of these things and dive into them more too, because I think this is by far the biggest thing. People want to be part of a team that's doing deals, and they want to learn. They want to learn how to do deals, and you want to learn from people that are doing deals. So you want to join a team that's producing results, and it's like, okay, well, if I'm someone that's starting a team, or if I'm starting a team, here's what success looks like, and here's the things that the communication channel, the JV agreements, um, like the onboarding or whatever, like and then the transparency and the education part of it. Like if I'm starting it, I want to make sure I have those things and I'm pouring back into the team. And then if I'm trying to join a team, I want to make sure those things are in place too. And I'm looking for that because it just shows me it's a legit. Now, for the No One Left Behind challenge, it's a lot of things are it's speed. It's like pull this things together, get moving, and then things will carry on from there. Like from our January team, um, we have such like great engagement from a lot of the members of the team that it's like you go from putting your leads into a spreadsheet to now putting your leads and your team into a CRM, and now you're just continuing to move along forward with that team. And it's to me it's been a lot of fun building out a team and learning and seeing how other teams operate too, and just seeing the things that are working. And I don't know, it's fun. I'm taking a lot of stuff. I'm you know I'm in a leadership position on my W-2, and
yeah,
uh to me, being able to build a team is it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You just got to pour into them, though. You got to pour a lot of things into it.
yeah. So, um, we have a funnel. We want to give something away. Do you think we should push that now, or you want to wait?
Yeah, yeah. Let's push it. I don't see any questions um, coming in, but yeah, let's definitely push it. I think we could talk through it too. Like it's really, around the roles that we just were discussing. What's the roles look like? What's the potential compensation look like across the JV? What's the splits look like across the team?
Yeah. My what I wanted when I was putting stuff together is, I wanted defined roles. You all know that, but I wanted, and I think there are a lot of people who want to put it together, but they want to replace themselves, right? They're going to delegate everything out, and they just want to look at it. They just want to oversee what's happening. Okay. Um, maybe they start as a rainmaker and then they get another rainmaker to join in. And I want to put together a team like that, right? Where you're stepping out so you can do other things. You have the wholesale team coming, rocking and rolling, and you're coming in just to like make sure stuff's not on fire. Or if it is, you are the extinguisher. You're going to put it out. So I don't know if this is going to post for everybody, Bobby.
Hmm.
I don't know if that came on your side, but
Yeah.
there we go. The rainmakerpod.com. We want to put together a freebie. This is for everybody who's viewing, everybody who's watching. It's a structure, not a structure, I'm sorry. It's a job description with the JV split proposed. Okay. You can put this into your JV agreement. Uh, you know, everything we've been talking about is boiling down to this freebie that we're giving you today is what are people responsible for and what are these splits that we propose that you maybe just this is a springboard for you. Okay. And so I did put owner compensation in there at 20%. And I also did a 20% um I don't want to say kickback. It's not a kickback. Holdback. A 20% holdback for risk capital. And I've talked about this quite a bit over the last year is like putting something in place to fund the business. So like when you run a business, Bobby, a pizza business, software company, whatever, you have to pay for running the business first. And then second, you pay your people, right? And I don't think many people I don't think many people think of doing that. You're putting up if you're running any amount of deals, if you run 5 deals and you have $1,000 EMD, that's $5,000 out of your pocket, right? So you have money if you're not, getting a loan for it, but if you have your own money going in to EMD, you have that capital is at risk. It's at risk of being lost to the seller. And if you lose that money, where did it come from? It came from your pocket. And so and then the split, if you just split, hey, me and you, Bobby, we're 50-50. I'll take care of I'll pay for Zoom, I'll pay for Go High Level, I'll pay for LY Blaster, I'll pay for whatever all the things, Slack, ClickUp. I don't remember all the things I used to pay for, but skip tracing, prop stream, bro, it adds up. But we're 50-50. Okay, is that fair? It's not. It's not fair. So, plus the risk capital, thousands of dollars on the line. So, okay, the business has to run. So I'm going to set something aside. Every deal that we do, Bobby, I'm going to set 20% back, 10% back, 50, whatever it is. I'm going to set something back, and that's going to pay for our business. Okay. That's going to pay for all the things that we talked about, even EMD. EMD is going to come out of that account. And it's important that when you're running these teams, you put something in place like that. Okay. And then line out. And then after that, the splits come. So it's 100%. and you say 20% of that, so the 80% of the assignment or whatever's happening, the assignment, 80% is what you split up among your team. It is kind of like, oh, dang, you know, that doesn't sound fair, right? At first. If you're having to switch to this model, people will kind of go, whoa, I don't like that. But I don't know. You you got to run the team. You have to run your business. So I propose everybody put something in place like that. And um, if you're not in the business, you're more out of the business, you have the team in place, put yourself as an owner comp. That's not something that's I'm not batting my eyes at that. I'm not blinking at that like, whoa, what? That's something that takes place. Okay. Um, your acquisition manager. Here's the thing, like tons of acquisition managers want half the deal, 40%. They want a bunch of the split. And I argue, I'm like, and I'm not a closer. I can close, but I'm not a closer. But if I'm putting a team together, I'm trying to bring a closer into my team. I'm trying to bring a closer onto my team. I'm trying to get on a team with the closer. I need this. The closer should not be taking 50% of a deal. I'm bringing them a relationship. I'm bringing them a lead, right? It's not something they've been fostering and taking care of, and then pulling in like Dispo for me is I'm like, okay, that makes more sense because they're going out and fostering relationships, right? So Dispo, they have people that are looking to buy. They have those relationships already running. They're nurturing, they're talking, they're interviewing, all those things. If I send a closer a deal, they get on a call for 5 minutes and then they get half the deal. That's it. I'm arguing that one. But people ask for what they want. So I'm the proposal, the splits that I propose are coming off what can work for a business, for in my opinion, like a full-fledged team. Okay, I feel like I ranted, so I need a break.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. And yeah, Jose said how also the opportunity is going to keep coming. Split the net, not the whole.
Exactly. What's up, Jose? Good to see you, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah, so with that, yeah, I mean there's some interesting ways too that you can do this split for the lead manager role, right? And you call it like a newbie, a freshman, somebody that's coming in to make calls. Um, the expectation I would assume, and Myron, you have a lot more experience too with this. Uh, like the expectation is your expectation always that a new a person joining your team at that capacity is not going to be on your team forever. Like, do you have a shortened time period to, or a thought like, and does that come into play when it comes to compensation? Like, do you expect that person to be on your team for as long as you have a team, or do you expect them to be on there for 3, 4, 6 months? And does that change the compensation depending on that, right? Like, what does the turnover look like for that part of it, the lead manager role?
okay, yeah. I got you. I call brand new people cadets. Like, Bobby, you're brand new. You've never picked up a phone. You've never dialed. I'm basically having to carry you like a baby to make this happen. Okay, I'm not going to say you, Bobby, but if I'm talking to someone brand new, I have to carry you. I have to show you. I have to teach you. Um, I'm calling them newbie, like cadets. I'm calling them cadets, and you're gonna get like maybe 5% of the deal. I'm looking for people who show consistency to actually bring them on as a lead manager. Yeah, they're going to wait to come on as full time. That I need to put them through the ringer a little bit to be confident that they're going to keep showing up and be consistent and all those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, the compensation might change from 5 to 10%, and really put them into the system to give them more consistent leads to call or chat with or whatever it is. For sure.
Yeah. And can they become a closer to like the eventually grow the skill set too to become a closer to then compensate it differently that way as well?
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
thing I don't like is the thing I not that I don't like it, but the thing that I worry, I'm saying I worry, but I don't like. It's not actually what I want to say. The thing that I look out for, the thing that I look out for is people who are hungry too quick, and they're just trying to they're trying to close it. No, I closed that. And I need the positions to perform how they're set. So I need a lead manager to be good at setting appointments, not closing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Yep.
going
It's a
off.
piece of the puzzle. No, it makes sense because you are lining up the closer. You are you're elevating them to like a closer to a different level to where it's like just play a piece in that puzzle because it's for a reason, right? It's intentional to say whether or not you could close it, whether or not they're like, hey, send the contract right now. And it's like, hey, I close this thing. It's like just go in that level, that orders of operation, because it makes a difference in being able to get the deal over the finish line. That's
Yeah,
basically what you're saying. Is like right now you think you closed it, but how many times you send a contract and then it's like nothing. You don't hear
totally.
anything. It's like, well, you didn't actually close it. It's because maybe you didn't go through the right steps, or maybe you just moved too quickly. You went through it too quickly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I
Yeah.
want a lead manager to understand what it looks like to set appointments. I want them to know this is what it looks like to make a call and set an appointment for a closer. And then they start understanding what negotiating and objections and all those things. Then they move up to a closer. Let's say, yeah, let's put you on the closing team. You're ready. Now they know exactly how to talk to their lead managers. They know exactly what to say. They know exactly how to train that person. I was there. I've been there for the last whatever, 4 months, 5 months. So, um, if the closer doesn't know what the lead manager, I don't want the closer to know what the rainmaker goes through, but I do want them to know what the lead managers and the cadets have to go through. I need that progression. I need them to know because I don't want them to ask for things that are unreasonable. I want them to understand the roles. So if the lead manager goes too quickly, they're not understanding the whole process, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, One of the things that we've been so on the January No One Left Behind team that I'm on, I've been working with Miguel, and it's been awesome. I mean, we have uh, a deal under contract, and we have a couple others that are like almost there over the finish line in Nevada and then in Salt Lake City, and it's been rocking. Like the team's been rocking, and one of the things too that we're talking about is tiered compensation. And but you have to be aligned. You have to be very on top of your metrics and your like the KPIs within the business. But basically, like, can you have a tiered structure to where you have a 5%, a 10%, maybe a 15%, and everybody starts at the tier one, 5%. But if you're setting, you know, if you're setting 20 appointments a month or whatever the number is, and you are converting and you're consistently making calls, like you're getting them out of that stage into like a hot, warm, cold status, like you're being able to actually move these things along and do so consistently. If you can track that and then you can display that to the team, then they understand like, hey, I'm in tier one, or like I'm gonna bust my butt to get to tier two and get to 10% or maybe 15%. And we've been we talked through rolling that out and implementing that out across the team.
Awesome.
I think, yeah, and it's just making sure that your KPIs are aligned up though, so that everybody knows where they're at, so no one's guessing, um, or no one's unsure about what percentage they're at. So something that we're rolling out, and just got to make sure we have the KPIs for it.
Yeah. And crystal clear on what it takes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, I always think of like, what's the most important thing to me? What's the most important, like, what do I want to see happen? And it's not, I want them to set appointments, but I don't want them to be like a shooting star either. Like, shooting star means they try really hard and then they burn out and then they're gone, right? So I want them to be slow burn. I want them to be consistent. I want them to set appointments. I want them to contribute. Like, what is that thing that I'm looking for? And that's how they move up. I'd rather have someone consistently send me one appointment a day than 5 a day for 4 weeks straight and then just disappear. Like, whoa,
Ghost. Yeah.
interesting. That was weird. Just be
Yeah.
consistent and because like, what's going to lower my stress? What's going to lower my stress? A bunch of bad appointments because they're just trying really hard, or someone who's consistent, really wanted to learn and stay on. That's lowering my stress way, way more than someone who's like I'm going to outperform everybody, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of just thinking about what you're saying. What do I want? What I want from that?
Yeah. 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 The other thing too is what I've seen in a lot of great teams is the constant recruiting of like always being open, of always keeping your eyes open, and your ears out for recruiting new people to the team.
Yep.
And I like the successful teams. I'm especially because I'm running like the CRM. It's awesome because it's you see new people coming in. It's like, okay, here's a new person coming in. Can you get them set up? Let's get them some leads. And because the understanding there is now, I don't have metrics on this, but I imagine that teams that have been established for a while understand this of like how many cadets or new people or the lead managers do you expect to go through? What's the churn look like on
Yeah.
that on an ongoing basis, and constantly having the recruiting aspect of it, like come on in. And the No One Left Behind challenge is such a great mechanism for this. But it's the same thing, right? Like reach out in the sub two community, like go to meetups, uh, and try and find people that are just hungry to learn, and run them through your team, get them set up and rolling.
Yeah.
That's another big thing that I just um, you can't expect the team that you've started with to be the team that you're going to continuously work with. Maybe one or two people will stick around, right? Have you have you experienced that a lot on the teams you've had?
Oh yeah. Bro, remember our 18-minute challenge? I don't
Yeah, I
I
remember.
don't even remember how many people were in that Discord. I don't. It's like 200. I actually don't remember. And constantly people don't show up. Constantly people are like, my partner doesn't communicate. And this is just like me trying to set up like Bobby and what was her name? Sherry?
Yeah, sure.
Bobby and Sherry. Like that's all you have to do is connect with one person. And it was hard. It was hard for people just to connect with not you and Sherry, but like other people just couldn't do it. And then think about putting that on a grand scale across 150 teams with no one left behind. That's insane. Trying to keep people, no, people are absolutely they're gonna fall off before it even starts. Like, what am I even signing up for? I don't even know what this is, you know?
Hmm.
So, um, yes, everybody has that problem. Everybody has that problem.
Yeah.
Quick Trip, pizza, donuts, like Walmart, right? Everybody has that problem. Everybody, all businesses have that problem. People
Yeah.
still want to work and then they just don't. The difference between W-2 and what we do is you don't get paid until we actually close. And so the mindset of I don't know if W-2 is broken or entrepreneurship is broken, but it's just different. It's just totally different. You have to not grind. I don't want to say it's like hard work, but like you have to do that stuff. You have to do that work and you might not get paid, but you're learning your potential in this business is way higher than working, minimum wage or just like going out and getting W-2. Like the potential is way higher. You're learning how to build a business from the ground up with some other people. Not many people get that opportunity. Like, how could you, with outside of No One Left Behind, how could you go out into the world and like go talk to a startup and go, "Hey, I want to be part of your team," and they just put you on it? You can't. Anyway, I might be wrong, but I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of people to learn and maybe learn a couple things, what they're good at, what they're not good at, where they want to maybe what path they want to take. Maybe they don't want to be a closer, they want to be a rainmaker. And they just don't want to be on the phones, and that's totally fine. But it's hard to get started. It's hard to get started when people are looking for callers. So like I just need a couple people to stay on, you know. Um
Mhm.
it's hard on all levels to just get that stuff rolling. So always, like to your point, always looking for the next up, like the next great person to put on your team.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like you constantly have to have deal flow. Um, you can't have well, it's like the one-itis, right? Just like with deals, you can't have it with people on your team either, right? Like you constantly have to be growing that team. Because expectation too is that they'll get very good at what they do and either do it themselves, branch off, do it themselves, which is cool, or stay on the team or become a closer for someone else's team. Like it's I don't know. I like the No One Left Behind challenge because of that, because it is like dating for a bit and there's no hard feelings on anybody when you are doing you're just trying to figure out what works,
Yep.
but you can bring a lot of value in a short amount of time for a team and decide whether or not it's a good fit for yourself. I thought I've taken that whole the visionary integrator test,
Yeah.
and
Rocket
I'm a
fuel.
rocket fuel, and I'm a visionary, but um I have integrator tendencies, and I've talked with Rosie about this too. Like to me, it's cool, like to be able to me it came down to my schedule and what could I do uh with the time that I had, and what do I know? And I know data, I know how to work technology, and my time is very limited. And so I'm like, all right, you told me you were like, just be an integrator. You're an integrator, and I'm like, well, my thing says a visionary. Like you're an integrator, and you put me in as an integrator with Sherry, and it was the best thing because it allowed me to actually contribute and bring value and learn without having to get on the phones. Um, and now I can get on the phones, no problem, and do that too. But I don't know, just it's an engine you need. Like you need your closer, you need your lead gen person, and if you can have those consistently, then you bring in other people that want to learn, and they can fall on either
Yes.
side of the spectrum. Or
Yes.
yeah,
That is the key in my opinion. That is the absolute key. The only thing I don't have figured out, like I guess I do have it figured out, but like an integrator, a closer, a rainmaker, a closer, and then just push dispo off to another person. Just push dispo off to like what dispo buddies or who, there's tons of people just doing dispo, right? Just to get yourself started. Just get yourself and give them half the deal. Give dispo half the deal. You guys take the other 20, 25, 25, get rolling. Put some money in the bank. And you're going to learn your processes on the way along the way. Add some more people to the team. Add a dispo person to the team. Be working. Yeah, I think you guys are working on your dispo program as well.
Mm-hmm.
And people are always looking for, dispo at 30%, dispo at 20%. You can, yeah, they're out there. When I look for dispo help, I want people who are in that market versus nationwide dispo. Nationwide dispo is great, but they just don't have the real, to me, in my opinion, they don't have the relationships that I'm looking for. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if I were to ask you, you're in Orlando, right?
South Florida in Boca Raton.
Oh, okay. So like you go to a meetup in that area, the people, the investors in that area, right? Like if someone to ask me, hey Myron, I need a Corpus Christi deal dispoed. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know many people in Corpus. I'm in Texas, but I don't know many people in Corpus Christi. I just don't. So like, yeah, I could put it through my system and send it out, but like, I'm not going to be able to like literally text that many people. Right. If it's in Dallas, I'm like, yeah, I could easily text like 100 people. So dispo is like a whole nother thing to put into place. We're just talking about acquisitions.
True. Yeah.
Bobby, I have to go in like 4 minutes.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll do too is just bring this back up. So this is the freebie that we were talking through, which will give you like some examples of splits that you can have in your JV agreement, as well as job descriptions. So if you go to the rainmakerpod.com, it will bring you to that, and you can fill that out and get a free. It's a document that lays this stuff out. It'll be super helpful.
Yeah.
So it's right there on the screen, but we can. There's no questions either, so we can jump. It's episode 1.
Dude, thank you for putting this together. This is one of my favorite topics. Talking about teams, talking about building this stuff out, because going through it is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart either. Like it can come with your tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
So but thank you for reaching out, and thank you for putting this together. And I appreciate knowing you and calling you a friend, man. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep making these episodes.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Myron.
Okay.
All
Bye,
right,
everyone.
see you, everybody.